Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be exploring the world of AI and filmmaking. We're going to be looking at this through a pretty cool event, a potluck dinner, actually.
A potluck.
Yeah. It was hosted by Machine Cinema at the Kin. It's a membership club over in Venice, California for, entrepreneurs.
Okay, I heard of the kin. What's machine cinema?
They're all about AI filmmaking. And they put on this event that's got a super interesting format. Everyone brings a dish to share, and then they present their AI film projects, give each other feedback, the whole bit.
Sounds like a recipe for some serious creative energy.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, you get to eat. But really, it's this amazing blend of, like, community building and exploring the cutting edge of AI in film. We'll be hearing from all sorts of people, filmmakers, software engineers, even someone who runs a slime museum.
Slime museum. Now, that's something you don't hear every day.
Right. So let's jump right in. The first presentation is by Kenny Miller, and he's talking about this event he's putting on called Slumu After Dark. Yeah, it's at the Slumu Institute, which is, you guessed it, a slime museum. It's going to feature all these interactive AI exhibits made by Machine Cinema members. Sounds wild, right?
Definitely unique. I'm intrigued already. What kind of exhibits are we talking about?
So Kenny highlights four in particular. The first one is called Magic Pond, created by Brian Wankum. This one takes slime sculptures that people make and uses AI, stuff like ComfyUI and Luma AI, to turn them into animated characters.
So you're taking something physical, the slime sculpture, and then using AI to bring it to life digitally. That's a cool blend of real world and digital creativity.
Exactly. It's like, how can we use AI to make things even more, magical? The next one is called Slew Movie Station. It's the brainchild of Maddie Hong, Jagar, Karina, and Isaac.
What a team.
Right, so they're building this station where guests can basically direct their own little slew movie, all within minutes. And get this, it's inspired by Mad Libs.
Mad Libs, like the word game.
Yeah, but instead of silly stories, you're making these slime-themed films using AI models that have been trained on this whole slew aesthetic.
Okay, now that's just fun. I can see that being a huge hit with people who maybe haven't dabbled in AI filmmaking before.
Oh, totally. Then there's feet-oriented fantasy landscapes by Luke Hahn. Imagine walking through this lake of slime, and as you move, AI projects these fantasy environments all around you.
Wow, talk about immersive. It's like the environment is reacting to you in real time. AI really is changing the game when it comes to interactive storytelling.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the last one Kenny talks about is called What Slime Are You? By Porter. He uses something called style diffusion.
Style diffusion, remind me what that is again.
It's this AI technique that blends different visual styles together. So this exhibit basically takes a picture of you and, using AI, transforms it into different slime types. Sounds pretty trippy, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It sounds like a lighthearted and engaging way to explore AI's ability to transform images. Okay, so we've got these four awesome installations. What happens next?
Well, Brian Wankum then goes into more detail about his Magic Pond project. He walks everyone through the technical stuff behind it and shares some funny stories about, like, how he was using chatbots, ChatGPT and Claude, specifically to help him set up those ComfyUI nodes.
Chatbots. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's like he was using them as assistants, but sometimes he had to, like, scold them a little to get them to cooperate.
Yeah.
Like, when they were giving him the results he was looking for, it was pretty funny. But, it shows you how it's not always smooth sailing with AI. You've got to work with it. Sometimes it feels like you're arguing with a computer,
Definitely. It's not just plug and play. It's a creative process, even with AI.
Exactly. And to really hammer home that point about AI's unpredictability, Brian does this live demo. Someone in the audience sends him a simple picture, like a blob or something, through WhatsApp. He runs it through his ComfyUI setup, and everyone watches how the AI transforms it.
Live demos can be risky, especially with AI. I bet that kept everyone on the edge of their seats.
Oh, yeah. You never quite know what you're going to get. Then we have Maddie Hong and Isaac, who talk more about their Slew movie station. They really emphasize how important user experience is, especially since they're trying to make AI filmmaking, fun and easy for beginners.
It makes sense. If the tools are too complicated or intimidating, people won't use them. Accessibility is key.
Right. And they showed off their web app interface, which is still being built, but it already looks really user-friendly. They kept comparing it to filling in the blanks in Mad Libs.
I like that. Keeps it simple, focuses on the creative part. So we've got slime, Mad Libs, and fantasy landscapes. What else is on the menu at this AI potluck?
Well, next up is Daniel Probert, and he's got something a little different. He's working on this web series all about personal horror stories.
Okay, now that's a genre shift. Horror and AI, what an interesting combination.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy, but in a good way. He uses AI-generated visuals and voiceovers to create this, like, super eerie vibe.
So AI can evoke strong emotions, even fear. That's pretty powerful stuff.
Oh, yeah. And he actually uses his presentation time to try and recruit some AI content creators. He even mentions how there are more and more jobs popping up in this field.
That's a good point. The rise of AI in filmmaking isn't just about new creative possibilities, but also a whole new job market.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
whole new world out there. Then we've got Joseph DeBiba, and he takes things in a totally different direction. He shows off his app called PhotoGen. It's all about, like, injecting soul into AI-generated images.
Soul, how does he do that?
Basically, his app lets you create your own AI models, but they're based on photos you upload. So you can generate images that actually feature, you.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like having yourself digitally inserted into different scenarios.
Right. And he does this demo where he creates images of himself in a spacesuit and playing the violin,
Yeah.
all based on what the audience was asking for.
Sounds fun. It's a great example of how AI can be used for self-expression and even personal branding.
Totally. It's like you don't need a fancy studio anymore. You've got the power to create right in your pocket.
Yeah.
Then we have Ian, and he presents his studio called Pickaxe. It's this platform that brings together all sorts of AI tools, and he uses it to create personalized experiences.
I'm sensing a theme here. Personalization seems to be a big focus. It makes sense. AI gives us that ability to tailor things to individual preferences in ways we couldn't before.
Yeah, so he shows off this shadow self artwork generator. Basically, it takes what people tell him about their fears and aspirations and then uses AI to turn that into a piece of art.
Whoa. It's like he's using AI to create visual representations of people's inner worlds. That's deep.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. And then he pitches this idea for an AI-powered breathing exercise. It would use personalized visuals and soundscapes, all based on what the user wants.
Okay, now that's really interesting. Using AI for mindfulness and well-being. I love that he's thinking outside the box and exploring applications beyond just entertainment.
Yeah, it's like using AI to help people connect with themselves on a deeper level. Then we have Tony Hsu, and he gives everyone the rundown on this new wave AI film festival that was happening that weekend at Emerson College.
I've heard of that. It's supposed to be fantastic. A whole festival dedicated to AI filmmaking. That's impressive.
Yeah, and Machine Cinema members got in free. Pretty sweet deal.
Definitely. It's great to see AI film getting its own dedicated platform. It really is becoming its own art form.
Absolutely. It's not just a gimmick anymore. Okay, ready for the grand finale of this AI extravaganza.
Get me with it.
Jagger. The guy who was organizing all this, he leads this awesome discussion about Coca-Cola's latest commercial, the one that was entirely AI generated.
Yes, the Coca-Cola ad. It caused quite a stir online. Some people loved it, some people hated it. It definitely got people talking.
Exactly, and that's what they were discussing. Like, is this a good thing for advertising? Is it ethical? Does it work?
Big questions. I imagine opinions were pretty divided on that one. What were some of the key points that came up?
Well, some people thought it was brilliant marketing. It got everyone's attention. But others felt like it was just like a lazy way to cut costs and lacked real creativity.
I can see both sides of that argument. On one hand, AI can help us do things more efficiently, but on the other hand, there's the risk of losing that human touch, that creative spark.
Totally. And then there was this whole debate about authenticity. Can AI-generated content ever really connect with people on an emotional level?
That's a question we're going to be grappling with for a long time, I think. As AI gets better at mimicking human creativity, how do we define what's authentic, what's genuine?
It's almost like as the technology gets more sophisticated, the questions get even bigger.
I agree. It's not just about the tech itself, but about the philosophical and ethical implications of what we can now create.
And what was really interesting was this idea that came up about hyper-personalized advertising. Like, what if AI gets so good that it can create ads that are tailored to each individual person's, likes and dislikes?
It's almost like we're heading towards a future where everyone sees a slightly different version of reality based on what algorithms think they want to see.
Yeah, and that raises all sorts of questions, right? Like, is that even a good thing? Does it just create echo chambers where everyone is stuck in their own little bubble?
And what about the potential for manipulation? If we're constantly being bombarded with messages that are tailored to exploit our individual vulnerabilities, that's a pretty scary thought.
It's mind-boggling. But, The fact that they were even having these conversations at a potluck, no less, shows you how much people are thinking about this stuff.
Absolutely. It's not just science fiction anymore. It's something we're all having to grapple with in real time. It's a brave new world out there, and events like this give us a chance to explore it together, potluck style.
Exactly. It's like, let's eat, let's create, and let's talk about the future. What could be better?
I love it. It sounds like a perfect blend of fun, creativity, and thought-provoking conversation.
It really was.
Yeah.
And, all this talk about AI and advertising got me thinking about Nick. Remember him? He did that AI-generated Toys R Us ad.
Oh, yeah, I saw that online. It went viral, right?
Totally. And it's interesting because it's like the opposite of that Coca-Cola ad, right? It was this one guy using AI in this really creative, nostalgic way, and it resonated with tons of people.
That's a good point. It's not just about the tech itself, it's about how you use it. One person with a creative vision can sometimes have more impact than a giant corporation with all the resources in the world.
Exactly. It shows that AI can be a tool for individual expression, not just a corporate marketing machine.
Right. And speaking of individual expression, that prompt off thing that Jagger did sounds amazing. What was the prompt again?
Oh, yeah, the prompt off. That was so fun. The one that really stuck with me was like a grumpy hedgehog running a high-end spa in the Amazon rainforest.
What?
I know, right? Super random. But people came up with such crazy images. AI is wild, man. You give it a weird prompt and it comes up with, like, art.
It's like a glimpse into how AI thinks, or at least how it processes information. You can give it the same prompt 100 times, and it'll probably generate 100 different images.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so interesting. It's not just a tool for replicating things. It's a tool for, like, exploring new possibilities, even if they're a little out there.
I'm just imagining that grumpy hedgehog giving someone a mud mask.
I know, right? AI can definitely make you laugh. But, going back to what we were talking about with Ian and his shadow self artwork, it's not always just about funny stuff, right?
Right. That project of his, using AI to visualize people's fears and aspirations, that's some deep stuff.
Yeah, it's like he's using AI to explore the human psyche, to help people understand themselves better.
Yeah.
And that breathing exercise idea, that could be huge, using AI to promote mindfulness and well-being.
I love that he's thinking about the potential of AI beyond just, like, entertainment or productivity.
Yeah,
It can be a tool for personal growth, for connecting with yourself on a deeper level.
totally. It's like, yeah, AI can make cool special effects for movies.
Yeah.
But it can also, help you chill out and breathe.
It's about expanding our understanding of what these tools can do. And it's not just Ian doing this. Remember Joseph with his Photogen app? That's all about personal expression, giving people the power to create images that feature themselves in all sorts of scenarios.
Right. It's like AI can be this really personal tool for self-discovery and creativity. And the fact that anyone with a smartphone can access this kind of technology, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It's democratizing creativity in a way we've never seen before, but it's also a double-edged sword, right?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Well, if anyone can create convincing images or videos with just a few clicks, how do we know what's real anymore?
That's true. Like, what happens when deepfakes get so good that you can't tell the difference between a real video and a fake one?
It's a challenge we're going to have to face as a society. We need to develop new ways of verifying information, new ways of thinking critically about what we see online.
It's like we're entering this whole new era of media literacy.
Exactly. We can't just blindly trust everything we see online anymore. We need to be more discerning, more skeptical, more aware of the potential for manipulation.
That's a lot to think about.
It is. But events like this potluck dinner are a good reminder that we're not alone in this. People are talking about these issues, they're exploring new ideas, they're trying to figure out how to navigate this brave new world.
And sometimes they're even generating images of grumpy hedgehogs running spas in the Amazon.
Hey, why not? It's all part of the journey.
Exactly. This event was a great snapshot of, like, all the possibilities and the challenges of AI in filmmaking. It was inspiring, thought-provoking, and, yeah, a little bit scary at times.
That's a pretty good summary of how a lot of us feel about AI these days.
Right. It's exciting and terrifying all at the same time. But that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we're living in a time of incredible change, and AI is at the heart of it.
It's shaping the future, and it's up to us to decide what that future looks like.
Yeah, it feels like we're at this turning point, like AI is going to be everywhere and it's going to change everything.
I think you're right. It's not just about the tech itself. It's about how we as a society choose to use it. And events like this one, they give me hope,
Yeah, why is that?
Because people are talking about it. They're not just blindly accepting it. They're asking questions. They're debating the ethics. They're trying to figure out how to make sure AI is a force for good.
And they're making some pretty cool art along the way.
Exactly. That's the thing about AI. It's not just about, like, robots and algorithms. It's about creativity. It's about human expression. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
One thing that really struck me was how Jagger encouraged everyone to ask stupid questions.
Yeah. That was great. It created this really welcoming, inclusive atmosphere.
Totally. It was like, hey, we're all learning here. No question is too dumb. And that's so important, especially in a field like AI, which can feel really intimidating to people who aren't, tech experts.
Right, because we all need to be part of this conversation, not just the engineers and the coders.
Exactly. It's about artists, it's about filmmakers, it's about everyday people who are going to be using these tools and living in this AI-powered world.
This whole event, it was like this microcosm of the bigger conversation that's happening around AI. Like, what does it mean for humanity? What are the risks? What are the possibilities?
It's a big, messy conversation, and there are no easy answers. But that's what makes it so important.
Yeah, we need to be having these conversations, even if they're uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the future of AI is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in it.
Couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to think about?
I think it's that AI is not just a technology, it's a mirror.
Ooh, I like that. A mirror.
Yeah, because it reflects back to us our own values, our own fears, our own hopes for the future. It's a tool that we can use to create amazing things, but it can also amplify the worst parts of ourselves.
That's a powerful thought. It's a reminder that we need to be mindful, intentional, and responsible in how we develop and use AI.
Totally. It's not about letting AI control us. It's about using it to empower us, to connect us, to help us become better versions of ourselves.
And to make some cool art along the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's important too. Thanks for diving deep with us, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep creating.
And remember, the future of AI is in our hands.
See you next time.